gavel.
Yeah, I didn't gavel to start the meeting because originally the meeting was just Les, and then Dennis and his wife, and now this is it. So, welcome everyone. I mean, this is week number 2 really of our pre-launch, and full house. We'll be taking the tables out. I bought an extra 30 chairs so we can hopefully fill up the room. But welcome to GREEN, Global Real Estate Education Network. Most of you, half of you have been here before, half of you not. And we'll be giving you some education today. We have people from out of state. This camera here and that camera there. So you got to smile and comb your hair. I was already told that. We're broadcasting live. So people anywhere with a computer, internet connection, is watching us. We just signed up some guys from New Jersey yesterday. We want to welcome those guys if they're watching today. We signed up guys from down in Florida. We're going to start groups down there, and we can watch their groups live. I'm not going to get into that now. Steve will do that later. So thanks, Dave, for signing up, and Greg Johnson, of course, Dennis from before, and Brandon last week. And you signed up last week too. That's wonderful. We're growing. We just started, and so we're going to give you some education, real boots on the ground education, not all about a real what their company does. Things will help you make money in this business. So without further ado, Brandon Patrick will talk about social media. Get up, guys. Get up. All right.
Yeah. I'm glad to be here. I mean, it's amazing the amount of people that's come out for this, and just the thirst for knowledge as far as real estate investing. It's amazing seeing the people here that are in this room, and I've got certain contacts with people here that I haven't seen in years. Danny was actually my manager back in the late '80s. When I was in college at a restaurant, and now he's got a great real insurance company up in North Nashville. And so this was actually the first time I got to see him. Greg played high school football with Greg at Brookwood Academy, and he's just done some monstrosity of stuff in the past few weeks. But what I want to cover here today, one of the things that we were talking about last week was how to use Facebook Live. How many people's using Facebook Live? Okay, we got 1, we got 2, nobody else. Okay, so got your phones. First thing we got to do, go to your Facebook. Go to your Facebook, and we're going to check in. So the first thing we're going to do is, you see when you go to, when you see what's on your mind, you see the check-in button right there? Hit that. And you see where it says green? Check in. Because, man, if we're going to grow this thing, and just say, meeting some great investors, because we've got some monstrosity of investors in this group. We've got several people that have made millions in this group in investing, and they're sitting here. There's my attorney right there. That's our featured speaker.
Hello, sir. Hey, man, how you doing?
Okay, we hit that, and let's hit post. See where it says correct location? It might say that. Just put yes. Is this the right city? Put yes. Is this the right zip code? Yes. Okay, and then just hit that. So everybody now knows. I hope you guys didn't tell anybody you were someplace else. So, because you're here in our room now, people know that on Facebook. The things that we're going to be talking about today is how to properly use Facebook Live. And just so people, I haven't met you, my name is Brandon Patrick. I own a social media marketing company in Franklin, Tennessee. We do website design. Our job mainly, more than anything, besides video production and graphics, is to make people look great online. So what I want to show you guys today, real quick, and I believe, Andre, you've got the screen, don't you? Good deal. Facebook Live for investors. you know, everybody sits there and thinks that Facebook is for playing and meeting their friends and doing things like that. How many of you guys know that Facebook actually was created to be an advertising medium? No, not too many people, see? Not too many people. That's just the genius of Mark Zuckerberg. And so what we're going to do, next slide. First thing we're going to talk about is how the world's changing. In 2011, adults spent on an average of 21 minutes a day watching online video. Adults have increased the figure to 1 hour and 16 minutes a day. So there's a huge opportunity here for you to get leads. That's the whole goal for Help Posted. Okay, let's do this right here. Let's go back, hit your button. And we're going to go live. Okay, everybody see this right here where it says live? Hit it. Okay, put in investor group, green investor group. How many of you have ever done Facebook Live?
It should be global. We've got the location set under Global Real Estate Education Network.
You want to do Global Real Estate Education Network? Global Real Estate
That should be where we're checking in.
Education Network Investor Group. Okay, everybody got that in? Everybody got it in? Guys, we're fixing to go live, and so everybody's going to see it. Just hit go live. We're going to talk about how to make the most effective Facebook groups. Okay, we're live here at Global Real Estate and Educational Network. Over in Nashville, Tennessee, I'm Brandon Patrick, owner of Intervision Media Group in Franklin. And we're just excited to be here today. We're starting to have people come online. And as you see here, we have a big group. We have a lot of investors here that are starting to come in. We've already got 7 people come in on mine alone. How about you guys? Is there more coming in?
I got 9.
That means you got more friends than I do.
Yeah, well.
But you see, people are starting to come in. And this is really cool, guys, because what we're doing here is I'm showing you, we're going to get into some stuff on how to market property. Paul McGoy, what's up, buddy? Paul's a real estate agent here in Nashville. Monica Gray went to formal with Monica. And at MTSU, Mike Woodard played football with him. These are the people that's coming on.
Everybody say hi.
Cool. Say hi to them. Hey! There we go. There we go. Hope y'all are all doing good. Thank y'all for watching this. So what we're going to do, if somebody wants to keep their Facebook on or whatever, that's great. We're going to go over some stuff. Next slide, please. This is how to get started. Facebook Live, this is a huge thing right now. Next slide. First thing we want to do is, guys, realize, you see how just nonchalant I am here? It doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to look model perfect. If it did, I'd be in trouble. But you don't have to look like that. You don't have to have your hair right. You don't have to sit there and have everything going to be able to get online. People don't want to watch perfect videos. They want to see things that are real. Okay, second, please. See, Steve? You can go live on your personal profile. There's an events page if you're sitting there doing an events page, or your business page. So there's all types of different places that you can do this. I'm sitting here and filming you guys as we're doing it. This is crazy. Laura Bone. Hey, Laura Bone. She's a realtor here in Nashville. Okay, next slide. Be prepared. That's the Boy Scout motto. Know what you're going to talk about. I mean, if you're sitting there and you're wanting to talk about maybe insurance, if you're wanting to talk about a certain product, know that you're going to talk about personal lines insurance or, whatever. If you're, as an attorney, know that you're going to talk about title, which, of course, John Bell's here today to do that. Next slide. And as you see here, we have authorized access. If you don't have a Facebook manager, you may have to download that to be able to do this, but it looks like everybody's doing it. So that's good. Next slide. And have an attention-grabbing headline. The best thing you can do is to have a great headline. And so, Patriots won, but we're going to go ahead and put that. NFL Airheads, remember the Deflategate last year? That gets people looking. They're thinking, and you've got a property. Man, think about, hot downtown property, hot property on 12 South. How to get the most out of, don't work with an insurance agent who doesn't sell you uninsured motorists.
Move in here.
Everybody say hi.
You need me closer?
Well, somebody is still on. To see this stupid Facebook Live, somebody just told me they couldn't hear you.
Oh, okay. Well, then that's a learning thing.
Now I'm getting bashed on Facebook Live.
Okay. Number five. Okay, number 6. Tell people what's in it for them. Why are they going to come to this? I'm going to learn about how to flip properties. I'm fixing to go see a property that nobody else has seen yet. Let them know what's in it for them. Number 7. Introduce yourself. Hey, I'm Brandon Patrick. I'm with Intervision Media Group. Our belief system is that we make people that are the smallest company all the way up to the largest company look the best they can on Facebook. So again, introduce yourself, tell them who you are. Next slide. And again, guys, you don't have to be perfect. Just get this thing going. I mean, the more that you do it, the better you're going to get. It's kind of like, crawling, then standing, then kind of waddling, and now all of a sudden you can go. So don't think that you've got to be perfect. Next. And then engage with your audience. Sit there and take a look at the statistics. You saw me whenever people were coming in, like Laura and Monica and Mike and Paul McGoy. You saw them whenever they came in. I said, "Hey, Paul, how's it going?" You want to get people engaged into the post. Next slide. Don't worry about how long your broadcast is. It can go 20 minutes. It doesn't matter. I mean, people will come in and out of it. So don't sit there and think, I've just got, 1 minute to sit there and put stuff in. A lot of times people don't even get into it till 2 or 3 minutes. And that's pretty much what I wanted to bring you. If you guys have any questions, just feel free to ask me after the meeting. And
I'm going to give you like 1 or 2 questions because
okay.
Just there's certain things that are so intuitive to some people and not so intuitive to others.
Sure.
And I literally had all of this stuff turned off on my phone. I guess it's like a probably irrational privacy fear. But when we're doing this, we're basically speaking to our audience. So professionals, real estate agents, people, if we're brand building professionally,
hey, Mike, Sid.
We're basically just talking to our friends or from our business page, whatever we're doing, and just trying to build networks, social networking, business networking. So when you do this and you're doing it professionally, I mean, do you do it as part of a larger social media marketing plan in someone's business? Do you tell someone, hey, you should go live on Facebook once a week, or live on your business page twice a week? Do you set up a plan? What do you?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, what are some general?
Well, generally, I do things at least 2 to 3 times a week online. It's kind of like tomorrow. I've got one of my clients who's actually shot a Facebook Live open house for about 2 or 3 weeks ago. She had several thousand people watch it, and a lot of great comments, a lot of great feedback. Now, the cool thing is when you get comments or you get likes or things like that, that allows you to know who's engaged in the post. And so you go back and you say, hey, would you be interested in this? Is this a house that might work for you? How's your insurance policies right now? Do you have the correct coverage?
I wanted everyone to know that we will be doing with Green, with our education business, we will be doing an online social media mastermind once a week. It'll be interactive question and answer. So now we're just kind of reinforcing what we went over a couple of times. We've got a lot of new faces here, trying to engage, check in, location services, connect with other people. But we will be online doing this with Brandon back and forth, just trying to strengthen some of our ideas about social media marketing, and the integration with real estate investing and networking with other real estate professionals.
Well, the cool thing about it is, like I said, I had a few weeks ago, a lady, she's a great realtor for parks, and she was like, I'm really scared to go on. She's kind of shy. But, I said, hey, I'll come out and help you with your open house. And so I did. And she got on there. She was a natural. And then now she called me yesterday, and she's like, hey, would you mind coming out, and shooting another one with me? And it's a house over in Green Hills. So, to me that's kind of exciting because she got so much engagement off of it that she would never get at a typical open house. That she was able to sit there and call people and say, hey, are you thinking about, presently, listing your home, or what did you think of the home that we just showed? I mean, the whole reason for doing this is to get leads.
All right.
That's the whole reason. Any other questions?
I have a question, something he said
Sure.
and everything. So this can be done from a business page, not just on the personal profile?
Oh, yeah. You can do it on a business page. You can do it on your Facebook, your regular page. If you're doing business on your personal page, I would recommend that you not do that. Get a business page. The reason why is because if somebody doesn't like what you say, or maybe you put something on there and they sit there and they throw it over to Facebook, they can sit there and say, I don't like this. And all of a sudden, the next day you come in, your personal Facebook page is gone. And so that's how easy. But on a business side, it's a lot harder. So everybody needs a fan page. But you can do it on that or an event page, too. Any other questions? Guys, if y'all have any questions, just feel free to talk with me. I know we want to stay on schedule here, but I really appreciate y'all's time. Thank y'all so much.
Yeah, thanks, Brandon. I got 3 guys from Philly said I finally found you. 2 cops.
Wonderful.
There's about 20 code
Can I leave early?
I'm just visiting here. I don't.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that's why we don't do it. That's why I don't like this. That's why when I do my prison ministry and I put my hand in that fingerprint machine, I shake it a little bit so they can't get a good read. No sense giving yourself up to them. They're going to catch me. They're going to have to catch me. So anyway, thanks, Brandon. That was wonderful. Kicking on, just adding to that, we a couple weeks ago we had somebody on social media with Instagram. Just blew my mind what you can do on Instagram. It's not just pictures and still life. It's video and all kinds of. So we think this social media is so important. We're going to try to have this every week, at least somewhere, some
Online,
education.
yeah, we'll have it online.
And as soon as I get him in the studio, we can start filming, shooting him. Right, Doc? Shooting him?
That's a Philly thing. Right?
Yeah, the Doc doesn't like to say, we're going to take you out and shoot you.
Wonderful.
Film. I know, Doc. Real quick, big crowd. We just want you to say, real quick, who you are and well, I guess you're all from Nashville, so just your job. What do you do?
I am a licensed realtor for Conscious and Cliche here in Nashville.
My name is Quachar is Emerson. I'm a real estate advisor.
Mohammed? Steve? Jason?
I'm also an activist as well.
His brother. Is that a job?
You work together, that's my son.
John Bell.
I don't go in order. I'm a random kind of guy.
Exactly random. My name's John Bell, and I have a law firm and a title company called Bell Law.
Name's Matt Molly. I'm an attorney with Bell.
Kevin White, I'm a full-time real estate investor.
Mark King. I'm with Edward Jones.
I'm with him, Shelley. Stephanie Paul, I'm with Keller Williams Realty.
Now, this whole 6 table, they don't know each other, and most of them. They're all brand new. First time here, so welcome.
Dennis Stalbert, my wife Marilyn, and we're in the cryptocurrency space.
Crypto man.
Crypto man.
Hey, I'm Mary Lazarus. I'm a real estate investor, and I work with Reliant Realty.
You are the real estate investor. Let's make sure you put that on there.
I'm Les Lazarus. I'm an employee.
Oh, you are not.
He's a master at the auctions. That's what he does.
Yeah. Larry Cox for Public State Mortgage. I am a mortgage lender.
Greg Johnson, developer. I have a credit card processing.
You always take a long time to finish your stuff. You got a shorter job.
Danny Snyder was Danny Snyder Insurance, property casualty.
Bradley Chaubert, Remax Elite, specialize in land and construction.
What I hear is the contractor.
Hi everyone, I'm Sarah Nash. I'm a private lender.
The private lender. I need about $20. That's what the guys in Philly were just calling me on there. That's why I'm here. All right. Well, enough of that. We are pleased. I didn't know this to the last minute, but we are pleased to have a master title and attorney with us today. John Bell. John, I don't know you, so I can't really do that much introduction, but I'm sure you'll tell everybody who you are. And
Hey everybody, let's shut this thing. I feel like I'm at home. My name's John Bell, and I'm with Bell Law. We have a title company we call Bell Law Settlement Services. Neeraj is going to pass out a little brochure on title insurance, which is a fascinatingly interesting subject. I'm sure you guys can't wait to talk about it. But I feel at home because I got my friends, Brad Chaubert, Larry Cox, Steve Jason. Definitely got a good group. I can certainly recommend Bradley and Larry. They do great jobs at what they do. So I want to talk about this title insurance. I want to get some questions, and I'll do a little commercial about Bell Law and what we do for investors. Did anybody ever wonder, like, why you have to get title insurance? Do you have, any kind of idea on what it is or why you have to get it? Any thoughts on that? Thank you.
Yeah, so
Appreciate
say you buy a house and it's sitting on top of a coal mine shaft, your house falls in, it's insured.
Right.
You made that up.
Yeah, probably wouldn't insure get that, but
Well, thanks.
just want to suck another
if title insurance is a city color insurance, we'd be selling it. No, thanks, Brad. I appreciate it. But he's right. It's insurance in case you buy a property and somebody else owns it, or somebody else has a lien on it and they want money from that property, or if there's an easement on the property that you don't know about that's not recorded. And as far as investors, if you guys are doing the demolition and rebuilds, that's important. You need to know where the easements are and the unrecorded easements. Some of those could be like utility easements. And back in the day when utilities were first being put in and so forth, they did not record those easements. They were just trying to get electricity to the south. So there's those kinds of things that come up. If everybody will look at your handout, I'm going to go down this. This handout is specifically talking about the difference between a standard title insurance policy. We're talking about owner's title insurance policies now. There's also the lenders get a title insurance policy. And that's a kind of different animal, and it covers different things, because lenders, pretty much, if you're a lender, has to cover everything. But if you're an owner, the title insurance companies, which we represent, First American, North American, they have things they do cover and they don't cover for an owner. And a lot of people don't know, and I'd be interested if Steve and Brad and Larry know that, there's a standard policy and an enhanced policy. And the things that the standard policy doesn't cover, that the enhanced policy does. But first, let's just, in the vein of exciting title insurance, these are the things the title insurance policy covers. Someone else has an interest in your title. Someone else owns it. How is that possible? Well, two people back in the chain of title. The chain of title is from when, I'm going to say this politically correct. When we got the land, or the U.S. got the land from the folks that had the land before we got here. Whenever that was, when Tennessee was formed as a state, the chain of title goes back to that time. Every inch of this state and the United States is owned by somebody, and you can literally go to a register of deeds office, tax assessor's office, those kinds of things, and see who owns every inch of the land. So what could happen in the chain of title? You bought it from Joe Smith. Joe Smith bought it from Steve Smith, okay? Bought it from the estate of Steve Smith. Or Steve Smith died without a will. didn't open a probate case. So then who owns the house? In Tennessee, if you don't have a will, and we do wills at the law firm, but another thing, if you don't have a will, you do have a will. The state of Tennessee's written it for you, okay? And it's the intestate succession law. Intestate means died without a will. So it generally goes to your parent, and it goes to your spouse, children, parents, brothers and sisters. There may be a step or two past that. So, how could you buy a house and somebody else own it? If there was an heir that was left out intentionally or unintentionally by the other heirs because they wanted the property, they wanted to get the money, there's no will, who's going to know? They come back into town, they've been out of town a few years, where's Dad's property? Oh, we sold it. Well, where's my money? I didn't get it. He has a legitimate title claim. He has an interest in your title. One thing about title to land, I don't know if you guys ever thought about it, but in law school they tell you title to land is a quiver of bows, arrows, of interest. So you have fee simple interest, that's how you own the property, but other people have interest. If there's a utility easement, the utility company has an interest in the property. The state has an interest in the property in the sense that they can assess property taxes and sell it if you don't pay the property taxes. So there's a lot of different interests, and this person in our hypothetical here had an interest and come in, they're going to call you first if you're the owner and say, I don't know, sold you this house, but, I have an interest in this house, I want my money. Then you just call me, or you get a title insurance policy, and when you get it, you call the insurance company themselves, and they will either pay the guy off, whatever his or her needs, were or interest was, or they will represent you legally at no cost to you, and get the matter settled that way. And it's sort of like that part is like insurance. If you have a car, I think if you have a wreck and they want to sue the other guy, that's what they do. They give you a lawyer, and that's part of it. So that's what title insurance does. That's how claims are handled, and so that's primarily, I think, what most people think about title insurance is having good title, and that's why in our area. Middle Tennessee, generally sellers issue or pay for title. That's a negotiable thing, and that's because they give you a warranty deed. The reason it's called a warranty deed, they warranty the title, the owner does, but are they going to be able to help out in a situation like that? And in order to enable them to warranty the title, they can get the title insurance policy. But just going down the list, it covers easements we talked about, improperly executed documents, delivered documents if they're not notarized correctly, forgery, fraud, duress, incompetence, and incapacity. Got a quick story if I can on this one. This is a title claim. This will give you an idea, okay? There was a family from China. They lived here half the year. They lived in China half the year, and they had several real estate holdings in the U.S. And China. They were a wealthy family. There were the parents and two sons. The one of the sons ended up murdering his brother and his parents, and took the identity of his brother. Told everybody, oh, they're just back in China, because where'd they go? And ended up selling their property off. Well, he got discovered. I don't really recall how they found out, but it was discovered it wasn't his property. He couldn't sell. Knocked on the door, said the guy who sold this to you doesn't own it. You don't own it. And that would be a tough knock at the door to get. But they went in, they paid the claim, and people were able to take their house. So that's when you've got the fraud, forgery, duress would be if will was challenged, if a devisee, which is a person that gets property from the will, if they impose duress on the party that's giving the will to give all the stuff to them instead of somebody else through different means. So defective recordings, restrictive covenants and restrictions. I think you guys are familiar with. That's another interest in the land that if you're in a homeowner association, they have an interest. They can also put liens on your property. a lien on your title, tax liens, judgment liens, homeowner assessments. And I'm going to come back to unmarketable title in just a second. Mechanics liens, everybody know what a mechanics lien is? Good. Mechanics liens, when they work on your property to supply material or labor. And in Tennessee, they can put a lien if they're not paid. Leases and contracts, if you buy a property, there's a lease on it you don't know about, they can enforce that lease, and if it's a long-term lease at an undesirable rate, that's something you would want to have taken care of. And then survey boundary disputes. If you'll see, when you got yellow and green on when you get to the red, those are the things that the standard policy doesn't cover. So standard policies generally don't cover boundary disputes, survey issues, and mechanics liens. So those are the big things. And really, when you are, well, it does cover mechanics liens, but when you're getting, that's another reason it's important maybe to get the enhanced policy when you're buying new construction, because if they didn't build a house on the right setbacks and those kind of things, you could get into that kind of trouble. On the unmarketable title, I want you guys to know, has anybody ever done anything with a tax sale?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right. So you know it's a hassle. If you buy something at a tax sale, it's a hassle to sell it because you can't get title insurance on it. And you have to get title insurance if you're borrowing money to buy the property because the lender is going to require it. So one of the things we do, I want to tell you guys because you are investors, at our law firm, Bell Law, we have the title company, Bell Settlement. We can do quiet title actions, get those tax sales where the title is marketable and you get title insurance on it. First thing we do is go back to the delinquent taxpayer. If you can get a quitclaim deed, or if the delinquent taxpayer will deed the property to you, any interest he or she had, then that clears it up and that's not expensive. If you have to do the quiet title and go to court, you run into a few $1,000s, but at least, because you buy these things at tax sale for these ridiculous, prices or whatever. You're exactly right. There's a market on it. It's definitely not as big a secret as it used to be. It's really an interesting game. Because the delinquent taxpayer has a statutory 1-year redemption right. So some guys go out, go buy the tax sale. Some guys go after the delinquent taxpayer because if they can get him, he can or she can redeem it, and they can take it back from the guy that bought it at the tax sale. Now, when they take it back, go ahead. What'd you say?
Got a back door.
Yeah. And see, is that what you're seeing? I mean, you look like you're done a little bit of that.
I just see high price.
Right. The prices are going up. Yeah.
I bought a property from somebody who had lost it at a tax sale. And the person who bought it at the tax sale never recorded the chancery deed. So we were going to a closing, and I guess he got word. So it was a little title stack.
That's a great story. Did you do that?
I funded. That's the one on Hard Avenue.
Yeah. And it was a really good deal. Fortunately, there was enough equity where we were able to make everyone happy.
Right, you had to buy the person out that bought it.
I could have shut him out, but he was a nice guy, so I did.
Oh. Steve Chase and hard to go.
Delete
that. And on this back page, we're kind of getting into some areas that Brad was talking about. Damage to existing structure due to maintenance or use of an easement affecting your property. So if you have utility easement, they come in and work on the utility easement and damage your property. So just look on those things. And the other thing about enhanced policies is it's just 10% more. It's just a flat. What title insurance is. Title insurance is generally set by the state. Actually, underwriters file rates with the state, but they're all very close. But on the tax sale side, we have an underwriter that is not afraid of tax sales that will issue title insurance on tax sales. A lot of folks, I don't know if you've heard this, is another way to get clear title on tax sales to wait 20 years. That's what most people, they'll do it at 10 years. Just straight up 10 years, you don't do anything. So the Fidelity in Chicago and those guys are kind of averse to tax sale property, but We do have an underwriter that does that. Let me briefly do my commercial, and then we'll take questions if you have any. Our law firm works a lot with investors. We do horizontal property regimes, we do zoning, we do business formation. So if you want to do an LLC or a joint venture where you got an investor, generally have investors, developers, and contractors. You can put all those people, we can paper up all those people. A lot of investors, they just kind of handshake the thing. They think everything's going to be all right, and sometimes it's not. Okay? It's just not. Things happen. So we can put that in a joint venture agreement or other kind of agreement where, like, let's say, if, you're going to split the profit kind of deals, I think everybody knows. So we can handle all of those things for you. And also, if you're doing new construction, we handle all the things that you have there, the COs, the notices completions, which you have to file in order to get title insurance if we don't know you, and all those different things. So if you guys need any of those things, and obviously the title company would love to do all of the closings. We're on West End Avenue. We're in the office building behind Maggiano's, if you're familiar with that restaurant, the American Center on the hill behind it. But we close anywhere. We can come to you and do the closing. So we would love to do that. I've got a few business cards if you want them. Other than that, our contact information is on this sheet. So, how much time did I have? I don't even know that.
About 10 more minutes.
What?
Eight more minutes.
Answer my question, then you can.
All right, I'll try.
Yeah.
You say you look up people's unrecorded liens. How can you look up unrecorded liens?
I didn't say that. What I said was the title insurance policy covers unrecorded liens. That's one of the things it covers.
So if they want to try to come back and sue you, you have the insurance.
So the lien holder comes to you, the owner, and says, I have a lien on this property. I want to collect. I'm going to foreclose on it. You can actually foreclose on it. And so that's when you want to call your title company, your realtor, your builder, the investor you bought it from, and see what's up. Another thing about liens that is I think an interesting thing to know. You have debt and you have the security that collateralizes the debt, the security of the debt. That's what the lien is. The lien is collateral. The underlying debt is what the person owed, whether it was a tax lien to be taxed, a judgment lien, whatever they owed to the party that sued them or got sued and they lost. You can pay that debt off. You can even you can bankrupt on the debt. The debt is gone, but the lien, unless your bankruptcy attorney files a motion to get the lien removed, the lien stays. And you still have to pay that lien off, even though the person doesn't owe the money. The money's still owed to them. They have a valid collateral lien, and they can get paid that way. So liens survive debt. They have to be released to
some HOAs are doing that.
File liens?
No, they won't file it. They won't release it. Like you can buy a foreclosure property and it's wiped out. They won't.
Yeah, it's a hassle. One thing about liens that's good to know is if you don't want to pay them, you can bond over them if they have a specific amount. Let's say you have a judgment lien for $16,000 or whatever. You could get a bond from an insurance company. I don't know if you do bonds. Do you do bonds?
Yes, I do bonds.
No, yeah. We're talking about the bond. This is the bond portion of the presentation. But anyway, that way you can buy a bond and then you can kind of deal with it later and go ahead and get your title insurance. So, any questions?
Yeah, I was sitting here thinking about the Tennessee residential contract.
Tennessee Association of Realtors residential
contract? Yeah, the TAR, yes. And in 22 years as a broker, I don't ever remember seeing enhanced policy on there. And so, typically somebody will put a title to be paid by seller. But what I'm seeing here is maybe because I didn't think all these reds that aren't covered under a standard policy.
It's super eye-opening to see this chart the way it's laid out. It really is. And that, as a realtor, that's something that you can bring value. you can take this chart. I can obviously email you some, or you can print out your own. I'll email them, put your logo on. You're bringing another, you're adding another little piece of value to them, recommending them to get this. Or if they're the buyer or whatever, if the other party's paying for it, get them to pay for it. Just put it in asphalt. A lot of people won't even know that it is. They'll make sure that's fine.
Well, and for 10% more, I mean, if they're paying $1,500 and it's going to be $1,650,
That's literally it.
why not?
It's exactly 10%. It's interesting the way they do it.
Aren't most lenders, since I come from the lender's perspective, aren't we requiring enhanced?
Now, that's what at the beginning, owners' policies and lenders' policies. Lenders' policies cover everything.
So that's probably why it doesn't come up, because most people are getting loans and the lenders are going to require the more expensive policy.
But, unless it affects the lender's interest, that's, the lender would have to file that claim. The lender's the only one that has a policy that covers those things. So you would have to work that part out. But that is true. Lenders are not going to lend, they're not going to lend money with anything where they can lose money if they foreclose. And that's what a lender wants title insurance for, is when they foreclose. That's the only time really their interest comes in.
A couple quick things. One of my primary questions is, and I've got a couple. What are you seeing out there? What do you see out there as the primary concerns as both agents and real estate investors when it comes to title? In other words, are there any common pitfalls that we might be able to look out there or see, or stuff that you actually run into? I know it's not commonplace. A lot of us who do multiple transactions do occasionally hit a title issue. Most people probably don't incur one in their real estate.
Yours was a great example that
we've had a few fun ones.
The delinquent taxpayer told you he still owned the house. Surely he knew that it was sold. Trying to get the money and beat somebody out.
And in the race to record statute, we've pretty much established that if we were an unknowing third party,
that's good. That's true.
That we had stand, we would have won. But
Tennessee's a race notice state.
Yeah.
It's not a pure race state, and it's literally a race to the register of deeds office to your deed record, your lien record, your deed.
But now the guy who sold it to us,
he had actual knowledge. See, that's the race notice. Yes. The notice part. If you know.
That was fraud.
Well, you don't get to race, Some states are pure race states. You can know and just go and win.
So is there anything that you've seen in particular that just glaring or anything that you think of?
The thing about it is generally, and I'm trying to think, but generally, you're not going to get to the closing until we've searched the title and cleared all the title issues. And the common title issues generally are unreleased liens, mortgages, what have you, from prior.
Chasing down heirs is the one that we run into.
Yeah.
We had
takes a
one
long time sometimes.
We had one that took us about 60 days over at Huntington Bridge that a developer's loan back from the 90s. And it had actually been insured 2 or 3 times. There were several units back there in one of the sections that the lien wasn't released. And it just knocked the closing back 60 days on the deal.
Unreleased liens and heirs, I would agree with that. I think we've all, if you're realtors, gotten a call, or you're a real estate investor, hey, and this is actually, if you're talking about infill building in the urban core here, a lot of those properties, you guys, I think, would agree, you get from the heirs. Mama died, finally we could sell the house, and it's worth a lot more money. But there's a lot of steps you got to take. Mama can't die yesterday, we sell it tomorrow.
Unrecorded affidavits of heirship.
Well,
it's a big one.
10-care is a big one. You got to get the 10-care letter, and you generally have to wait. If they don't open probate, it's a problem. Okay. If they open probate, that attorney will get the 10-care letter and give notice to the known creditors and publish notice to creditors. So if it's not probated, you've got to wait 6 months. Some people say a year. We'll do 6 months for creditors' claims. And then you also, then the last thing is inheritance tax return. So now inheritance tax federally used to be $2 million. I think it's even more than that. You're exempt from inheritance tax. The state hall tax and stuff, they have a little bit lower threshold. But if it's a small estate, you know you don't have inheritance tax, you wait the 6 months for the creditors, you get the 10-care letter. What the 10-care letter does is 10-care and Medicaid can, if you're in your home and you go to a nursing home and run up a $100,000 bill, 10-care can take your house, when you die, take your equity. Now, they generally don't. They really don't. I've seen people have $50,000 worth of equity, and they say, okay, that's fine. They're really not bad about grabbing that, but that's what a 10-care letter is for, because if you buy the house without that, 10-care comes in and says, hey, no, you owe us our money. They win. So that's the important thing. But and then to create title in the heir's name, then you do the affidavit of heirship. You find one or hopefully two parties that aren't interested, not getting any money out of the deal, that knew the family for as long as you can get possible, and will testify under oath, and it's just in the affidavit, it's a signed affidavit, that they know the family, those are the only children that these folks had. And then that can convey the property to the heirs. A lot of the crazy things, like, when daddy dies and then the children move in, the children die, and you pass this title to 2 or 3 heirs, but nobody takes the time to, they dawn on that, something they have to do, So, any other questions? All right, guys, we really appreciate it.
That's why you need, all of us who do a lot of properties need a good title attorney that will answer your questions just like that, because it's Les knows, Steve, Larry, especially at the auctions. We're going out there that morning at 7 o'clock in the morning, looking at the property really quick, and then hustling down for a 9 o'clock auction. You're going to run that title search very quickly.
Right. And we do that. If you're at a foreclosure sale, call me and let us search the title and look at what's going on before you buy it. Because you're buying at a foreclosure, you're buying the property subject to anything recorded after that deed of trust. Before the deed of trust.
Yeah, and you have to make a relationship with them, because you call this person one time. I'll call you in the morning. There is no morning in auctions. That's why you have to start making relationships with a good title attorney. They're invaluable. They're the one attorneys that you don't want to hang. All right. Well, that was wonderful. Hopefully, John will maybe do some more classes for us and do a step by step. I'm sure he has so much knowledge that we'll work with. Yes, sir. I don't take questions. Did you hear me ask the question?
No, I did not.
Oh, you want to ask him a question again? It's attorney. He only charges an hour. Go ahead.
John, are you licensed statewide?
Yeah. Attorneys are licensed by state. So we operate in the entire state. We're licensed. The title company is, and the law firm is. The lawyers are. So we also have a website which is on there, which has a fee calculator on it, which helps you with net sheets to kind of figure out what you're going to net if yourself or something. So,
are you multi-states or just Tennessee?
We're just Tennessee.
Because we try to buy a lot in Florida.
If you're buying enough in Florida, we can open up in Tennessee. In Florida.
No, that's why you need multi-title people. All right. Anyway, I'm going to turn this over to my partner, Steve. He's going to finish this up. Any other questions we have on our procedure here and all the fun things we do? All right. Good. Steve, Jason. Toastmasters, you're supposed to stay here and shake their hand. Steve was mad.
Thanks everybody for coming, and just to let you know what we do here at Green. We are a real estate education company. These meetings will always be free and open to everybody. We do have a business model that is tied to this. It is a network marketing company. We have online video conferencing, masterminds, education, in a learning management system, and a video conferencing platform. And several have just joined this week. Greg just joined us this week. I think we just mentioned that Greg has closed 24 properties in the last 8 weeks and sold 12 of them. And so we're going to be talking deals here in a few minutes. Stephanie joined this week, and she I can tell I know who has DNA for success, and she's going to be a successful agent. And so we're here to build professional relationships, meet other investors, meet people who somehow are going to augment the business that we work with, possibly partner. I can't tell you how many deals I've done with the people in this room. Some of us know each other, made a lot of money together, go back a long ways. And then we see a lot of fresh faces. So, my mom was a school teacher. I try to look at everyone and figure out what can we do to help augment someone's career or their business, not just the faces that I see every day, but maybe the 80% of the new faces that keep coming. So we can, this is my business now. What we're trying to do with Green is take the real estate education model and turn it upside down, where instead of charging too much, we actually, through network marketing, are creating more mentor-based relationships. So now I'm invested in the success of everyone here. And we've got one gentleman that's training with us. We charge $99 a month. He charges $6,000 a week. But he's training for us for $99 a month. Because it works. We have a broad-based perspective. We bring in a lot of voices, and we don't have to continually stair-step people up this platform of increased price. Because quite frankly, you're not going to get a lot of these voices for $99 a month, because you couldn't get me for $99 a month, because it's just not worth my time to do that. But now we've kind of created a different mousetrap where it can be worth time for some good voices out there to share their experiences with others. So if any of you are interested, we try to keep these really tight to an hour so we don't take up too much time. And as I mentioned before, always open and free to everyone. But if any of you guys are interested in hearing more about the business model, I'm here. And for those of you who have signed up this week, I want you to know this is my full-time job. So any kind of advice I've got, it's all yours. If I don't know it, I can put you in a direction. So whether it's on the agency side or the investor side, or connecting all the dots, putting people in touch with each other. So
we got some people from out of town.
Out of town, yes.
I don't know if they want to say hi, but they did say that they're watching and enjoy it.
All right, great. Well, we've got a big investor group, I guess, from right outside of Philadelphia, New Jersey, that's going to be starting up with us, and we'll have our Florida group going pretty soon. So another thing, just for interest's sake, it fascinates me when I see other markets, because I just part of the art of deal making is just kind of understanding how things move. The boots on the ground, just understanding the subtle nuances of markets. So I love looking at Florida. Florida's really interesting to me. I like Philly. It's really interesting to me also. All of our meetings are simulcast. So any new investment group, anyone that comes in and joins our company is welcome to use our platform to simulcast their investor group meeting anywhere. And we record and archive these on our learning management system.
The beauty of
we want to connect you nationwide.
Our system is that group down in Florida and this group in Jersey and others that we're bringing in. You can watch on your laptop, or we can sit here and watch their group, just like they're watching this
Which
group.
to me is much better than reality TV, but I mean,
And
some
they-
people might find it boring, but
Well-
I can do this stuff all day. So
Not only the education,
Yeah.
but they can put their houses. We want you guys to bring your houses and give them to us ahead of time, and we'll put them up on the screen so they're projected. I was just in California where you can't buy anything less than $1 million. They would love to buy this stuff that we think is expensive, but they say that we got money, but we don't have houses. So you can watch a Florida group and actually watch their group showing houses. And actually ask a question right here online, like they can ask a question now, and say, hey, that guy over there who, and he can see us, hey, that guy over there who had all those houses, can you have him call me after the meeting? That's the network we're trying to get to. It's a global network. Geez, why can't we do that?
Rome wasn't built in a day, but this is our full-time business, and the very nice thing about it is we're active in the real estate investor market locally. Everything we do here is a very permanent fixture. This is not a flash in the pan. We make plenty of money with our day-to-day business and working with people that are already in this room, and we're going to keep this education company going because we enjoy it. Without further ado, any questions? I'm going to be here for another half hour or so. Otherwise, feel free to mingle. We'll keep the office open until 8. Like I said, we want to respect everyone's time. We come in here every week for an hour and then open it up till we'll be here till about 8. And thank you very much for coming. We appreciate it. Thanks again for answering. Thank you.